everybody, welcome to the Commit episode 14. I'm Neal.
And I'm Richard.
So this is the first week in a while where we're not coming off of a big hackathon or preparing to go to one. And so we've had a little bit of a lull and an opportunity to work with our developers on making the hackathon experience a little bit better on Devpost. So Richard, tell us about that.
Yeah, definitely. So one of the early fruits of this work is a great change that you're going to see. I think it's going to affect a lot of people.
I think it even goes live this weekend, perhaps.
Yeah, it should be live for this weekend's hackathons. So traditionally, we've had an issue sometimes where people would create a project on Devpost at an event, but not associated with the hackathon. So now, if you create a project in your Devpost portfolio, the first time you save it, we're going to prompt you with a list of all the open hackathons. I'm going to say, hey, by the way, are you taking part in one of these events? If you select it, we'll submit the project to that hackathon and automatically register you for it on Devpost.
And of course, you can always still go back and edit your project until the deadline, but you don't have to worry about missing a submission or saying, oh, what happened to my project? I know I put it up.
Yeah, so we think this is going to have a really big impact. And also, if you have any other feedback on things we can do in the product to make your experience better, please just hit us up at hackathons@devpost.com. We'd love to hear that.
Hey everybody, welcome back. So let's talk about Apple's new Magic accessories.
Let's do it.
They've got a new keyboard, they've got a new mouse, they've got a new trackpad. There's no removable batteries. Everything charges by lightning cable. They're a little thicker, they're a little more solid. And I don't really know if I care enough to buy them.
I think they look great, actually. I use the current version of that keyboard. I use the Bluetooth version, and I actually like the idea of a smaller form factor. I switched a while ago to using a small form factor keyboard and a trackpad, and it's worked really well for me with the rollerball, not the trackpad.
I need that full-size keyboard. I need that number pad, and the mouse, I have it right now, and it's so small. It doesn't feel like a solid mouse.
Yeah, that mouse destroyed my hand. Using that, when I first switched to using that mouse full time, I was getting so much pain. But moving to the trackball, big difference for me. If anyone's kind of getting pain in the top of your hand, definitely encourage you to switch to a small form factor. Try a trackball because your hand's moving less lateral movement. Really, it worked really well for me.
You've got a wireless trackball, right? It's not like it's you tethered.
Yeah, exactly. Just in case I need to lean back and do my thing.
It actually got us thinking about some of our favorite input devices. I have two. One of them is the old optical mouse from the Sun stations back in the day. It had a printed metal mouse pad that you had to use with it, otherwise it wouldn't work, and it was always tracking the position between these two dots. And the second was the Logitech, it was a blue mouse. It was the Logitech's advanced optical mouse before they did laser. And I still have one, and I keep it at home in a box with one of my really clicky-clacky mechanical keyboards too.
That's awesome. I've not switched to mechanical keyboards, but I really like them. I like the sound of them. I have a friend that uses a mechanical keyboard with all the keys with no labels. It's kind of badass.
Yeah, but I don't know, sometimes I don't remember where the K key is or the control key is. I have all my keys mapped backwards anyway, so.
All this talk of things reminds me of an awful job I had one summer. My job was do you remember PS2 connectors?
They were the green ones.
Yeah.
In case you remember the color coding.
So my job was to repair them by re-soldering the connections. On the first day of the internship, they gave me a big crate of them and a soldering iron. And that's what I did.
That's not an internship, that's like a sweatshop job.
That's a pretty good internship for where I grew up. Anyway, Neal, Input Devices got you onto your staff pick this week, right?
Right, absolutely. So I picked Project SAOUI, which is it's like a virtual reality menu interface that you can use. And so it uses a leap motion for hand tracking, so it picks up your hand position. It uses the DK2 so you can move your head in virtual space, and it's built with Unity. And what's really neat is it sort of mimics the UI from Sword Art Online, which is an anime series, I believe. And it kind of merges, or it really reminds me of the LCARS interface from Star Trek, which was very yellow, very nested, with the sort of Minority Report interface, which is all about that sort of virtual glass screen type of thing. I think it would be really cool and sort of a really immersive RPG where you have to walk around and you don't want to break that fourth wall and be worried about touching a keyboard.
That's really cool. So what's it building?
It's built with Unity. So I don't know if Spencer, the guy who wrote it's going to be open sourcing that anytime soon, but you should definitely take a look at the video. It's and there's also a pretty lively conversation on the Devpost page.
That's cool. Well, for my staff pick, I was thinking about a different kind of input, food. And this project, Sahara, is from the Meteor Global Hackathon that took place last weekend. And it's a really cool idea for housemates to be able to organize meals. So this is how you set it up. So you enter the ingredients that you have, and then it will recommend meals for you to cook for your housemates based on the ingredients, using the ones that expire first, so you have less waste.
Optimizing your fridge. Optimization everywhere.
Totally. Once you've picked a recommended recipe, you can send that out as an invitation via the system to your housemates, where they'll say, hey, this is for dinner, are you in? That's really cool. People know what food's going to be cooked, and you know exactly how many people you're going to be cooking for. Awesome project, and a lot of polish for a hackathon project. Really enjoyed it. Definitely recommend you check it out.
Where is my invite? I haven't received anything yet from you.
Are we friends on Facebook yet?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Well, that was episode 14. Thanks, and we'll catch you next week. Happy hacking.
Happy hacking.